Business leaders from around the country will spend the night outdoors this Thursday sleeping rough to get a taste of what it is like for some of Australia's most vulnerable and helpless. Over 1,500 chief executives have registered and nearly $6 million has been raised for the Vinnies CEO Sleepout. And I'm pleased to be joined by the founder, Fehon. Bernie, thank you so much for joining us. And, congratulations. This is 20 years that you've been doing this. What was your inspiration behind it?
Well, originally I'd been involved in fundraising dinners for Vinnies, and prior to that I was an AMP financial planner. An AMP foundation were providing money to charities through the financial planners. So I thought there's no better charity than Vinnies to try and get some of that.
And they have been around for a very long time. They do incredible work, raise a lot of money as well. So yes, 20 years you've been doing this this sleep out, and you know, hearing people doing it, it really gives them a taste and a sense of what it is like to sleep just for one night. But obviously there's so many people that have endless nights out in the cold.
That's, you've hit that well, saying that it really just gives a taste. We are making people uncomfortable for one night. And many of those people, you know, we consider that they're at the top of society by one measure. But one of the biggest impacts of the night is where they are quietly listening to someone who has been homeless tell their story. That has massive impact, and rather than then jump into a nice car and head home, they get to reflect on that all night.
Are we seeing an increase in homelessness across Australia?
Absolutely, we are. And that's one of the things that just doesn't make sense in this world, I guess. We've got a thriving economy in many respects, but then we hear about the housing crisis. And the housing crisis is affecting so many people, but at the bottom end of that, it means there's pressure that increases homelessness.
And obviously organisations like this, raise awareness, bring in some great dollars. But is it possible to eradicate homelessness altogether?
I believe it is. I mean, practically all we need to do is build enough homes, and that is one of the challenges, that we've got a growing population, and certainly the rate of providing homes, building new homes, is not keeping up. I hear of extraordinarily long waiting periods for public housing, and for some people, I hear 10 years. If you've got an 8-year-old child and you're a single mum, your child will be an adult by the time that 10 years is up. So, we absolutely need to address it. Even if we did house all of those people that are homeless, organisations like Vinnies would still have an amazing amount of work to do to support those people, because there's things that lead to homelessness that would still be existing.
So if people want to donate, they can, and we'll bring up the way that they can do it on screen. There's a lot of people that don't have the funds to donate, and they might want to help in different ways. Yeah. How can they do that?
Well, certainly donating is easy at ceosleepout.org.au. And even small donations have a massive impact. We are targeting CEOs because we know they have more resources and they have influence, and many of those are using that influence to raise funds through their own networks. But Vinnies obviously is an organisation that's full of many volunteers, and people can volunteer at Vinnies as well.
And you mentioned some of the stories from people that are sleeping rough. What are some of the stories that you've heard from other CEOs?
Well, certainly there's CEOs that have been changed by their attendance. Some of them have homelessness in their family, some have been homeless for periods of time themselves, some of them have gone back to their workplaces and implemented domestic violence policies. So I think those that are involved, it's more CEOs who care. And generally they care a little bit more after they've been through the event, because they've had that taste of being uncomfortable for a night, but more importantly, they've heard the stories of those that have been homeless that Vinnies have helped. There's over 122,000 people that are homeless in Australia. There's about 35,000 of those in New South Wales. There's more than 2,200 who are rough sleepers, which is what we see. But Vinnies are working at all levels of that to try and minimise it. And whilst it's not been eradicated as a problem or eliminated as a problem, it has had, the money raised has had massive impact on hundreds of thousands of people.
Incredible work that you do, and congratulations, 20 years, and let's hope more and more money is raised and this is eradicated and you don't have to go out and do the work that you do because, yeah, as you said, it can be fixed. CEO sleepout.org.au. Bernie, thank you so much. We really appreciate you joining us today, and congratulations again on the amazing work that you do.
Thank you.